Realizing the person you love doesn't have the capacity to love you is a sobering revelation. I was a late bloomer, so my first love wasn't exactly a young budding romance fueled by adolescent hormones. However, I was just as naive. Looking back, I now see it as a seed planted in the heat of summer, interrupted by a frigid winter. Just like a drug, they say that the first high short-circuits the brain and you spend your days obsessively chasing the feeling of the first time to no avail. That's what it felt like when he fed me just enough hope to feed my own delusions, blocking the sun with his harsh criticisms, while he plucked a bouquet of roses, hibiscus, sampaguitas, mountain laurels, parading them before me while I was kept concealed in the shadows, planting false good intentions laced with seeds of self-doubt, grooming me to rely on him for the very sustenance he resented me for. Still, I grew despite the ambivalence, but into something that didn't look like me, a codependent, anxious, indecisive girl, embarrassed that I couldn't even make a choice without his voice being louder than my own. What I saw in the mirror was a reflection of twisted weeds, a projection of his unconfronted fears, my fate as an empath. It saddens me to think that somewhere in life they developed these defense mechanisms to protect themselves from when they too were loved inadequately. But that is no excuse. I waited patiently on the Lord and he heard my cry. He lifted me out of the slimy pit and out of the mud and mire. My Creator uprooted me with the truth of my identity. At first, I fought the pruning, fighting to stay in the familiar foliage of discomfort. But then I surrendered. And now I see what he and I both failed to realize. I was never a fragile flower meant to be picked for a bouquet, but a myrtle tree, built to flourish even in unsuitable conditions. Now I realize, like a tree, I am planted by streams of water, which yields its fruit in season, and whose leaves do not wither. Whatever I do will prosper, because my God is the greatest gardener, and he is my safest space.